working on the other cat that I got, and I basically put an ignition coil in it. I put a Walbro 668 or 1668, something like that, and I put a bunch of new filter material in there, oiled them up, changed the linkage to make it, sit properly. Before it was all bound up and it was way over here. It has no brake linkage, so I'm gonna have to wait for a few parts to come in before I can finish the brake setup there. But this will eventually have brakes again. It's got a nice digital Savox servo. These are pretty cool, actually. I'm waiting for a receiver box to come in, and I've been kind of going over things here and there. I'm gonna run these arms for a little bit. That one right there has been busted. Looks like somebody kind of half-assed repaired it. I'm gonna order some eventually, but right now I'm gonna kind of run it for a little bit, see how it runs, see what it, what else it needs, that kind of thing. Because right now it feels a little stiff in there, so I don't know if we got a diff issue or whatever, but we're gonna check that out. For right now, it feels okay. I just kind of want to see where it's at, give it a proper shakedown. Still working on the exhaust here. So here's the problem with the exhaust. Besides it looking like hammered ass, it's kind of sitting up too high, and what it does is it burns into the body. So we're gonna fix that. All I really have to do is bend the flange back down, or maybe I just sit it in there the right way. I think it was in there like that. So if I sit it in there that way, it may actually still work. I don't know. Just gonna kind of play around with it, see what I can do, because I mean, it is what it is. It's in, and we are going to town here. So we already put one of these bearings in there. We're gonna put the other new bearing in, like so. It's probably gonna fall out. This is the new brake cam, which honestly I really just need this little stem piece right here. That's all that was really missing, but it's nice to have the extra cam. And this is the receiver box that was damaged on the other one, so let's get to putting all this together. Alright, so when I was putting this together here, I noticed that it did not come with another switch. And the one currently on this box is broken. And I don't trust those contacts in there. I'm not gonna try to fix that. I just buy another one. It's supposed to be here in a couple days, so we will see. But in the meantime, we'll get all this cinched up here and take it out, and we're getting our first little look inside. I'll get the flashlight in here so we can kind of take a good peek there. Actually looks pretty good. The gear itself's not chewed up or any of that jazz. It's a great sign. Here's the diff, so let's open this bad boy up and see what the grease is like on the inside. Alright, so we took the bolts off of here, so let's kind of see what the inside looks like together here. Ooh, I like that. That looks really, really good. Okay, yeah, we will leave that alone for sure. That is a great sign. So we're gonna close this back up, and this one looks this good, so I'm gonna bet that the back looks that good as well, so we're not gonna mess with it either. I think these diffs are pretty good, so I know where my problem is at. The problem has to be in the wheel hex, which I'm not a fan of. These little hex things here, but it's what the truck has, so we're gonna roll with it. As soon as some bearings and other parts come in, we'll slap that thing back together and should be good to go. Now, one thing to notice here, you'll notice that there's really no shims there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, these bearings are even pretty good, so either somebody replaced them not too long ago, or they're just that good, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to grease it up a little bit over here, and then we're going to slide. Right, we fixed the shock leak here. As you can tell, it's been leaking all over the place. What the problem was, excuse me, is the bottom threaded piece here.
had come off. This is the bottom part of the shock itself. I don't know what the hell they call that. So I took it apart, and basically the oil was down to about here. So it didn't lose a whole lot, but as you can tell, it's all over the tire and every damn thing else. So another thing I'm kind of fooling with a little bit is this tire. Like this one here, you know, moves pretty easy. This one here is really tight. Got to look into that a little bit. I think that block in there might be a little too tight. Just looking at the way that everything connects up, it's kind of hard to tell. But if you notice, like in here, you can feel a little bit where the tire feels like it might be rubbing against the knuckle. So I might need to get a couple washers or something put in there and kind of bring it out a little bit. I'll work on that later though. That's kind of minor. So the next step that we're going to be working on is the exhaust back here. I got to cinch everything up, but as you can see, it's kind of a little lower. I think the body's going to be okay, and I actually took and cut the centerpiece out of the body, so it shouldn't contact this any longer, and I believe that'll give me enough clearance. So I'm going to kind of put everything back together now, at least this part, and go from there. I just got done going over the shocks. Shocks seem to be fine in the back. They got plenty of fluid, so I'm going to leave those alone for now. So my main focus is parts that I have coming in here, and of course the brake linkage. So that's kind of where we're going to focus our efforts right now, and then we'll get it out for a little bit of a shakedown, see if it needs, you know, anything else. As you can tell, when you roll this here, you look at all the tires here. They all roll, but that one. So I think it's just the fact of it being too tight, because when I do roll it, it turns fine. It just feels like there's a lot of friction there, which is most likely where it's contacting the knuckle. And I'm looking at this one over here, and it does not look, you can't really see it on the camera, but inside here, there's plenty of space in between, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I've had to do that with vehicles before, kind of put like a spacer in between or a washer or whatever. I don't know that I have any right now, but I'll be looking into that.
And this is the block that we were waiting on. It came in a transmission gear set. Let me get that number for you. So it came in a center diff gear mount set, or whatever they call this. Part number 50075. It came with a whole bunch of other gears that I don't need right now, but I'm gonna save them because, you know, later on it may be something that I need. So here's the ones that it came with that I don't need. Another block there that I could use for that. This is kind of like the one on here, and then that one would be probably that one right there. So I'm stuffing them in my box below here. I got a little box of parts for this truck. So now we're going to get all the gears together, and we should be able to get it out for a little rip now. Just for reference, this is the old chewed up one where I had to drill and cut it out. Got stuck on the shaft, and the new hotness is already in place, and everything is ready to rock and roll. And as you can see, it does have that little slop in it that I don't like, but that's in all of these. So kind of like a little bit of a slipper kind of assembly. So, you know, we'll just see how, it's not really a slipper, but, you know, it kind of acts a little bit like that. So yeah, we'll just we'll see how things go with it. And this guy here has had a nice little refresh. It does have a Savox servo, which I'm leaving in there. I do not like the Traxxas servo, but for the power, it should be okay. I don't trust it very well, so I'm probably going to be ordering another one. I had to add some new screws on the bottom here, things that fell out and everything. So yeah, let's get this thing out for a rip. I did. Ton of fun, and once again, amazing. I now have two Redcats that I really like. This one here is more of a stock form as of right now, but I've got a lot of plans for it. And so far, you know, it seems like it can be really good on possibly a track. It's got a lot of tight turning, kind of like a low C, but it's more of a buggy. The speed could be there. I'm pretty happy with it where it's at right now. I'll play around with it, see what we can do with it later. I don't need all my trucks to reach 100 miles an hour. I don't really care about that. I want to see what this one can do, kind of see where its home is going to be at, really. I'm thinking the track would be a good place for it, so I'm going to try to get it down there. My work schedule is pretty hectic right now, so once I figure that out, we'll get it down there. But in the meantime, we're just going to play around with it in some grass. We'll get it out on the pavement, you know, whatever. Just beat it around, see what it'll do, and then kind of go from there. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. In my eyes, this is a big score for the Traxxas Drag Slash that I traded it for. I really love this. It's amazing, and to me, this is kind of like where my interest currently is on all the fifth scale gas. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am, because like I said, this is what's important to me. So yeah, I really had a blast. This thing looks awesome. I had a couple things to replace and fix on it and stuff, but going really good so far. So I'm gonna keep going. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.